Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. The Freeland American Legion's annual bike run was canceled on Saturday, but the rainy weather did not stop the public from supporting a local child in need. Freeland American Legion President Jeff Zameko told us about making the tough decision to cancel the bike run.
Unfortunately, we can't ride because we love riding, and we do it for a good cause every year. We try to raise as much money as we can for the person that gets picked. So, unfortunately, it didn't work out today like we planned, but we still have a pretty good turnout.
Despite the cancellation, many still came out to the American Legion to buy tricky trays and food in support of Emmy Madash, the 3-year-old that was chosen to represent the bike run this year. Emmy was born a healthy boy, but was brutally beaten by his biological father at just 3 weeks old. Emmy miraculously survived and is now in the care of his adoptive parents, Keith and Danielle Madash. Emmy still suffers from several developmental impairments due to the injury and is still receiving treatment to this day. The Madash family frequently makes trips to the Philadelphia and Hershey areas in order to get Emmy the treatment he needs, which becomes costly. We spoke with Emmy's mother, Danielle Madash, who told us she is grateful for all of the support from the American Legion and the community, as well as the great progress that Emmy is making.
We're starting to see that there's a future for us. He is the strongest person I know. He is so motivated and brings light and love to everyone around him. He's learning to walk, he's learning to sign. He just started eating real food, which as a mom, huge. So we've had our share of roller coasters, that's for sure, but right now we're on top of the world.
The American Legion Post 473 is located at 523 Center Street in Freeland. Over $1 million have been secured in infrastructure grants for the Hazleton and Klein Township areas through PennDOT's Multi-Model Transportation Fund. The city of Hazleton was awarded $300,000 to improve 2 blocks of Alter Street with new concrete curbing, sidewalk curb ramps, and reinforcement. Hazel Township was awarded over $600,000 that will be used for paving, traffic control, and ADA improvements to Commerce Drive. Klein Township also received over $200,000 to resurface, restripe, and trim branches over residential and commercial roadways in the township. Pennsylvania State Representative Dane Watrow and Senator Dave Argel both played key roles in bringing funding to the local areas. A man is wanted by the Dunmore Police Department. Luis Mercado Santiago is wanted on a felony warrant for aggravated assault. He is known to frequent the Oliphant and Pittston areas. The public is warned not to approach this individual. Anyone with information regarding Santiago's whereabouts is asked to contact the Dunmore Police Department at 570-343-0851. Coming up on WYLN News, police investigate a reported retail theft. Plus, Wilkes-Barre Township prepares to celebrate their 250th anniversary on Saturday. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health have come together, 2 leading health systems dedicated to improving the well-being of our communities and offering you a broader access to uncompromising high-quality care, stronger together for you.
Hi, I'm Leo. Tomorrow's going to be sunny.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Police are investigating the retail theft at the Wilkes-Barre Township Target. According to police, the two females shown on screen entered the store on August 19th and stole $400 worth of merchandise. Anyone with information regarding the identity of the suspects is asked to call 570-208-4635, extension 326. Wilkes-Barre Township will be celebrating their 250th anniversary on Saturday, August 24th at the Mohegan Sun Arena parking lot. The event will begin with a monument dedication at the Township Municipal Building at 9:30 a.m., followed by a parade through town to the Mohegan Sun Arena. The celebration at the arena will include food vendors, games, live music, and a fireworks display at dusk. The event is free to the public and all are invited to attend. For more information, you can visit the Township of Wilkes-Barre Facebook page. The Giant Company has announced in a press release that flu vaccines will now be available at Giant pharmacies. According to Giant officials, the 2024-2025 flu shot protects against 3 strands of influenza and is an effective way to fight the flu, especially in older adults and young children. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that everyone aged 6 months and older get a flu vaccination by the end of October. The flu shots at Giant will be administered by Giant pharmacists and specially trained pharmacy team members. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are also available. Giant officials say most insurance plans cover flu shots at a $0 copay. Coming up on Whitehaven's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Benton Part 2. Plus, we talk school bus safety on Trooper Talk Tuesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to brooksnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's brooksnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, I'm going to be all by myself. I'm going to entitle this show, Confessions of a Chiropractor. I want you to get behind the scenes, see what I see. So stay tuned, I will make it as good as I can of a show for you.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
Following the Civil War, Benton remained much the small town it had been before the conflict. Signs of the Industrial Revolution started appearing in the area, however. Newton Harrington, upon returning from the conflict, would build an iron foundry in Benton. Its primary products in those days were sled shoes, which came in handy for transporting the logs produced from the area's timber industry. Lathes, plows, and griddles would also be made at the Harrington foundry, and during World War II, it made 75mm shells and stove parts for the military. After nearly 100 years of Harrington family ownership, it would be bought by Al Hall in 1958. He changed the facility's name to the Benton Foundry, and under the ownership of first he and then his sons, the factory has grown to a large iron-making business. Other businesses also took root. A planing mill opened in 1870 at was today is the junction of routes 487 and 239. It would be converted into a flour mill owned by A.W. Wilkinson and John P. Chapin, and then changed once more into a roller mill in 1889, and then a buckwheat flour mill in 1904. It burned down in 1918, but was rebuilt, and still operates today as a feed mill under the name Benton Roller Mills. At their peak in the 19th century, over 14,000 covered bridges crossed countless bodies of water throughout the United States. Today, a little over 900 still stand. Columbia County, always an epicenter for covered bridges, today has 21 spans within its border, the third most of any county in Pennsylvania behind Lancaster and Washington counties. And 3 of Columbia County's bridges can be found within a few miles of each other on Fishing Creek just west of Benton, all of them built with a Queen Post Truss design. The northernmost of these spans is the Creasyville Covered Bridge, built by T.S. Christian in 1881 for roughly $300. It was originally named the Durr Covered Bridge after nearby sawmill owner Hiram Durr and stretches 49 feet across Fishing Creek. Just below that is the Judd Christian Covered Bridge, named for a local farmer at the time of its construction in 1876. It was built by William L. Manning and has a length of 60 feet. The southernmost and longest of the Benton area's covered bridges is the Sam Ekman Covered Bridge, which was also built in 1876 by Joseph Redline for just under $500. The bridge's namesake once owned a shingle mill nearby and later founded the Millville Creamery. It has a span of 71 feet. Benton Borough once did have its own covered bridge crossing over Fishing Creek, but that span is no longer standing. As the largest community in northern Columbia County, Benton became the site of several hotels for travelers moving through the area. One of the more impressive ones was the Exchange Hotel, built by Hiram Hess in 1872 and opened to guests the following year. It would later be owned by Daniel Donovan, who remodeled it extensively by 1910. Other hotels in Benton proper include the Moses Van Campen Hotel, the McHenry House, and the Travelers Inn. North of Benton itself, a stone house would be built on the shores of Lake Genoga by brothers Elijah and Clemuel Ricketts in the early 1850s for area travelers. It would be known as Ricketts Folly for its isolated location. In 1865, 2 guests of this lodge had wandered down to Kitchen Creek to go fishing and made the breathtaking discovery of numerous impressive glens and waterfalls on the property. Elijah Ricketts' son, R. Bruce Ricketts, a former Civil War veteran, entered the scene soon afterwards. Bruce had served in the 1st Pennsylvania Light Artillery, which notably saw action at the battles of Drainesville, which was the first Union victory in the Eastern Theater, 2nd Bull Run, and Chancellorsville. Ricketts was the commanding officer of Company F from fall 1862 to summer 1864. He would have his moment of glory at Gettysburg, where his unit successfully held off an attack on Cemetery Hill by Jubal Early's Confederate troops on July 2, 1863, despite the fighting being hand-to-hand at one point. He would also see service at the battles of the Wilderness and Spotsylvania and the siege of Petersburg before the war's end. Back in civilian life, Bruce began buying up property around Lake Genoga from his father in the late 1860s. He eventually controlled 80,000 acres, including the glens and waterfalls. The younger Ricketts then opened the 3-story North Mountain House in 1873, built by lumber from a sawmill in the area he owned. Guests came to marvel at the waterfalls of the property, and Ricketts would ultimately name 22 of them for posterity and would hire men to build trails along the waterfalls, a process that would take 4 years. Ricketts also hosted the first summer school in the United States of the hotel in 1876, with Joseph Rothrock, considered the father of forestry in Pennsylvania, as one of the teachers. Bruce Ricketts still wished to make a profit in the lumbering industry, though, and repeatedly reached out to potential investors to build rail lines onto the property and start cutting trees. He would not find a taker, however, until 1890, when the Trexler and Terrell Lumber Company, led in part by prominent Allentown businessman Harry Clay Trexler, paid Ricketts $50,000 to cut his timber. The company built a town on the other side of the lake, which would be named Ricketts, connected to its rail lines, and began cutting timber. By 1911, the sawmills in the boomtown could process 125,000 board feet of lumber a day. With timbering riches now at his disposal, Ricketts closed the North Mountain House, which had been threatened repeatedly by fire in the intervening years, in 1903. Attendance had declined at the hotel in the prior years anyway, as the forests were cut down. Benton itself would be connected to the railroad starting in 1888, when the Bloomsburg and Sullivan Railroad reached the town. Although headquartered in Williamsport, the railroad's tracks were entirely in Columbia County, stretching 29 miles from just south of Bloomsburg to Jameson City in far northern Columbia County. 6 passenger trains went up and down the line each day, while freight trains would carry leather and lumber, among other items. The line opened Benton to the wider world for the still dominant Roar McHenry distillery and allowed rapid transportation of its whiskey to customers. By 1960, the line's northern terminus would move south from Jameson City to Benton, and trains that reached the new terminus would wait overnight in Benton before heading back south. After 40 years as a wholly independent line, the Bloomsburg and Sullivan would be bought out by the Reading Railroad in 1928 and operated as a subsidiary thereof afterwards. Passenger service ended in 1934, but the Reading continued carrying freight in the line until it was damaged by a flood in 1969. The tracks would be torn out a few years thereafter. During the Bloomsburg and Sullivan's heyday, however, Benton would also become a place of recreation during this time for railroad travelers with the opening of Hess's Grove near the tracks in 1889. Its name would soon be changed to Grassmere Park and had an official stop in the Bloomsburg and Sullivan's line. Guests that disembarked at Grassmere Park had numerous picnic groves to enjoy, as well as cool water springs, a baseball diamond, swings, concession stands, and a dance hall to enjoy. They could take boats out on Grassmere's Lake or ride a carousel that was eventually installed. The annual Columbia County's Farmers Picnic was frequently held at the park in its early years, and local organizations would also have get-togethers there, including the Jerseytown 4-H Club and local Boy Scout troops. While the tracks of the Bloomsburg and Sullivan no longer stand nearby, Grassmere Park today lives on as a campground.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Trooper and Public Information Officer. It's that time again, back to school, and you know what that means. The buses are on the roads again. And this is important to everybody involved. This is important to not only the students, but licensed drivers in the Commonwealth. So let's talk about buses, okay? We know in the mornings and the afternoon that these buses are going to be out there. So if it's going to disrupt our travel to work, leave a little bit earlier. Wake up a few minutes earlier, leave earlier so you're not stopping all the time behind these buses. Now, when you encounter a bus, if the bus has its stop arm out and the red light's on, you're required to stop 10 feet behind the bus. That's right, 10 feet behind the bus. What this does is it allows a safety gap between vehicles and the buses in facing both directions, whether you're behind the bus or facing it opposite direction. This way, once the students get off the bus, it allows them a gap to where they could safely cross the road and get home in a safe manner. You have to remember, as a licensed driver in Pennsylvania, it's our responsibility to make sure that these students, these children, get off the bus and get to where they're going safely. We have to pay attention. Now, that means keeping your eyes on the road. When you're driving around these school bus stops, put the phone down. Keep your eyes on the road at all times. Sometimes these kids, especially after school, they're so excited school's over, they're going to run across the street and get home. We have to pay attention. We have to make sure that they are safe. Now, when we talk about stopping for school buses, people always say, well, what if there's a guardrail in between? What if there's a wall in between my lane and the opposite lane? If that is the case, you do not have to stop if you're going the opposite direction. If there is no guardrail, if there is no Jersey barrier, anything in between the lanes, then you are still required to stop if you are going the opposite direction of the school bus. Remember, both ways you have to stop 10 feet behind this bus, whether you're approaching or you're behind the bus. That's extremely important. Now, students, parents, what do we need to know about? Well, we need to know, teach your children. Don't run across the street. Always stop. Look both ways before you cross that street. That's important. Sometimes these drivers aren't paying attention. Hopefully they're listening to me, and now they will be, but we want to make sure that the kids are safe. So they need to know, don't just run out across the street. When you get off the bus, don't just run straight across. Stop, look both ways, make sure that you're crossing in a safe manner. Parents, make sure somebody's at a school bus stop. In the mornings and the afternoons when they get picked up, make sure somebody's there so they can keep an eye on the kids to ensure safety for all. We got to look out for our future leaders of our communities, and it starts now. Drivers, be aware. Students, be aware. Let's all keep our eyes open. Let's use our brains, make good decisions, and then this way everybody will be safe. Take this to heart, and I'll see you here next time on Trooper Talk Tuesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.